Okay, so it's week 4 of my Q&A and we're going into more risque territory, or more sensitive territory actually, to put it correctly. In this week's video, I'm going to be talking to you about aftershave and colognes, and also about some sex problems, which, as you can see, as usual, I'm probably going to have to look at the floor for most of my way through this, but I'll try anyway. So, question number 1 was, what colognes do women like to smell on men? Question mark. I'm going to answer this question in 2 ways. First of all, on like the logical level, and then secondly on the emotional level. Logical level, there's tons of colognes out there. I would go for I would play it safe to begin with, go for a well-known brand, go to a department store, try a bunch out, think which one you like and which one you think represents you. And I think as long as you choose one that's relatively mainstream, you're not going to be choosing something that's going to be off-putting to a large amount of people. Personally, I like Victor & Rolf Flower Bomb, but who knows? There's loads of them out there. Secondly, on a more emotional level, I would I would try to get out of the mindset of, if I pick this thing right, they'll like me. So I'd much rather that you were choosing a cologne because you liked it, you enjoyed it, you could maybe have a story to tell about how you came to the decision about what one to wear, and thinking less about what will gain mass approval of women, because women and people, we're all different and we all like different things. So what one person will like, another person won't like. And so the best route you can always take with these problems is, instead of thinking, what can I do to get something that will gain approval, I would get the approval of yourself and take ownership of that and enjoy smelling how you want to smell. Okay, question. I used to go to professionals and never had erection problems there because it was just about having sex. Now, 1 year without having sex, I'm currently having my first girlfriend. We got intimate, but it didn't really work out for me. I didn't get an erection, and if there was one, it was just for a short duration. I'm feeling uncomfortable with myself when I get next to her naked because I think that I can't please her and that my penis size is not enough for her. Okay, so what I can say just from reading your email, and I have to disclose, I'm not a doctor or a psychotherapist, but in my opinion, what it sounds like to me is, when it is just about sex and you feel comfortable around that, and this is I would say, and I have no judgment on anything like this, but I think when there's a financial transaction involved with sex, one of the byproducts of it can be that it can be a little harder to get across to normal sex. So that's why sometimes actually giving up stuff definitely give up using escorts or professionals or whatever you like to call them, lay off porn and stuff like that as well. It will help you to have a more organic and better connection with the woman that's really there in your life. What that's saying to me though as well is that when sex is just sex, it's just a physical act for you, it's fine. When it's involved with emotional intimacy, that's where things are getting problematic. From what it sounds to me, this girl likes you, she's spending time with you, she seems pretty open and pretty comfortable with you. You mentioned other areas of your email that she said she was fine with it and she didn't really see this as a problem. So what we need to do really is you to let go of seeing the problem of as her judging you or her criticizing you or her being uncertain about you, because there's nothing about how she's reacting or treating you that's giving us any indication that's the case. Instead, and I think you know this one's all about you really, and how you're seeing things and how comfortable you feel. So first of all, if we let go of her as being involved with the problem and bring it back to yourself, or at least in the right ballpark, so we can deal with things more effectively. What it sounds like to me is that because you feel an emotional bond to her and there's an expectation there, it's harder for you to sexually engage with her because you want to impress her and you want to make her feel good. All of this is natural, and in fact, tons of guys, sex isn't really strictly my department, but just anecdotally, loads of guys have some issues when it comes to having sex with someone they actually care about, or where they really like the girl. That can be one of the things that actually makes stuff not go exactly how you planned. What I would do is I would probably take a step back from sex and I would look to build up that intimacy really slowly with her. So maybe do a week of kissing, if that's going well, the next week do some other foreplay, and then gradually, it's not about going slow for her, it's actually about building up your feelings of comfort and your ability to emotionally trust this person. And trust and intimacy are two things that, oh my God, doesn't everybody struggle with that stuff? It's a big one. Take things slow, build your emotional connection to her. Try as much as you can to put it out of your mind that she's judging you. Do things that will help you to relax, go on nice dates together, take things physically pretty slowly. I think she's going to be cool with all this. And then hopefully over time, as your emotional intimacy builds and you're able to relax more, things are going to happen naturally, because physically there's not a problem here. It's something that's going on up here and in here. Also, I'd say if maybe after a few months you're still hitting the same problems, it might be worth speaking to somebody else. I'm obviously via a YouTube video not able to give you like the ongoing advice and support that might be helpful to you through this one. Just know though that I have had so many guys over the years email me about this. It's pretty common. It's something that there's nothing physically wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your relationship. There's just a little emotional barrier that's in the way at the moment. And you can move that and you can get that one. You can climb over that and you can sort it out. So hopefully that will help you a little bit and get you on the right path. And if not, I would reach out to somebody who specializes in that particular field. Anyway, I hope you liked my videos. There's a real mix of questions, isn't there? I'm hoping I'm doing some of them justice, and I really genuinely appreciate you guys opening up and emailing me. As I said, if you want to find out more about me, of course, you can go to hayleyquinn.com, where my two amazing podcasts, Attraction HQ and Love HQ, are there. Please subscribe to them on iTunes. They are really good. They're like my resistance radio. They're weird. They're fun. Likewise, if you've got questions that you don't mind being shared publicly, you can tweet them at me at Hayley Quinn, or you can find me on Instagram at Hayley Quinn X and just comment on my pictures, and I will incorporate those in my videos as well.